How worried are you about the outbreak in PNG?
Oh, morning, Pete. Good to be with you. It's deeply concerning. We're obviously a part of the Pacific, and the Pacific's part of our family. We've already committed some $60 million to support for PNG for the coronavirus support mechanisms, but the Prime Minister will have more to say today.
Yeah. How exposed are we from that COVID threat in PNG?
Well, the PM spoke to Prime Minister Marape yesterday. In terms of our exposure in the north, the advice I have is there's currently 7 Papua New Guineans who are in Queensland hospitals, have returned with positive results. Whilst that's not a lot, clearly if you talk to Warren Ench, he's part of the furniture up there.
Sure.
He's got a very strong view on what we need to be doing, and we obviously need to do more, and that's our intention.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about an area that's not very far away from Australia, and it's not just PNG, it's Torres Strait as well. I mean, just a few kilometres away, really. If it were to get across, it could cause major problems in the northern parts of Australia.
Oh, well, we've had similar issues in terms of tuberculosis, so TB over many years. They've been managed very strongly by our health systems up there. We've got a lot of protocols in place which will hold us in good stead in these conditions. But my concern now is for the people of PNG. We do need to provide additional support mechanisms. As I've said, we've got $60 million on the table already. But I look forward to the Prime Minister's announcements today.
Are we moving at a fast enough speed, though, in terms of sending help?
Well, we want to move with speed, not haste, Pete. That's always been the intention of this government. It's what we're doing in Australia in terms of the COVID vaccine rollout here. We'll provide the assistance necessary into PNG. And as I've said, they're part of our family. We're part of the Pacific. We always look after our neighbours, and we intend to do just that.
Do you back your colleague Matt Canavan in pausing the AstraZeneca vaccine?
No, I'll stick with the doctor's advice. Thanks all the same.
So should he retract his statement?
Oh, look, that's a matter for the Senator. But my job is to ensure that the government is making the right decisions, which we are, that are based on the available medical advice, which they are, and we take the best available medical advice, not only in Australia, but from right around the world. So the advice we have is that this is the right thing to do, and we'll continue the rollout.
Do you think he and others have undermined public confidence by suggesting that?
Oh, look, I think people will make their own judgments, Pete, about the commentary of my colleagues. You're asking for my view. My view is very strongly that we need to continue the rollout. It's in the national interest. It's the way we will deal with this in the long term, and it's how we get everyone back to work.
Do you think that any suspension would ultimately cost lives?
Well, there's a whole stack of medical knowledge, expertise, experience and advice around the rollout. I trust the TGA, I trust the advice from the Chief Medical Officer, and that is the advice on which we make decisions. The rollout is moving forward. It's important that people have confidence, clearly. We are out there. I mean, you've only got to have a look. The PM's had his shot, as have a number of others. We are obviously doing the priority areas first. But once again, the sooner we get through this process, the sooner we get back to a life that's close to normal. And Australians, in my view, Pete, have just been magnificent. They've done a wonderful job over the last 12 months, and they should be congratulated.
OK, just finally, Minister, the US has warned that Australian steel and aluminium exports will be hit with Europe's carbon border levy. But apparently will support our green hydrogen and rare earths industries. Is that a payoff that is worthwhile, in your opinion?
I mean, it's protectionism. No matter what cloak you put around it is protectionism. I mean, this is a tariff which would apply to imports, and I'd be very interested to see how they do that within the WTO rules. We support a rules-based trading system, and that's what we expect from our trading partners. Yeah,
so you'd be fighting against that. You'll continue fighting against that with the Trade Minister as well?
Well, a tariff is a tariff is a tariff. It doesn't matter what you call it.
All right. Keith Pitt, good to see you. Talk to you soon.
Mate, great to be with you.